Everyone, back to the Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with my rant stroke thought of the day. It's more of a thought or an update really on injuries. Tis the season to be knackered, as it would be for Newcastle United. Barnes humbug, as we've called this video. Terrible news on the injury update front with reference to Harvey Barnes and to Joe Willock as well. So we're just going to talk a little bit about that and get stuck into this. Before we do, a little gentle reminder, if you haven't subscribed already, why not do so? We're over 6,000 subs. Loads of room for you guys and Evermore. Smash that button. If you want to be part of the 6K prize giveaway, go watch that video and drop a comment on that too as well. All free content, but if you do want to give a little bit back to the channel, there is a members option there as well, which is less than a pint of lager, which a lot of Newcastle fans are consuming over the festive period, especially if we have any more injury news like we've just had today from Eddie Howe's press conference. So I might as well get stuck into the first one then. So all the news about the returning players. There was a big list of players everyone was talking about that were coming back from injury that were going to bolster the squad, going into the kind of festive period, the busy period of games, Champions League and FA Cup. And we're obviously out of the Champions League now, but we've still got the Carabao, we've got the FA Cup, we've got the Premier League, try to get back to the top four. So everyone was saying these players were coming back. Callum Wilson, Sean Longstaff, Dan Burn, Harvey Barnes, Sven Botman, and then Joe Willock wasn't too far away. So that was 6 key players that could probably walk into the starting 11 on most weeks. We've seen Wilson come back. He looks sharp, which is nice. Long may it continue. Sean Longstaff has come back. He's just trying to build his fitness back up. Dan Burn was back on the bench against AC Milan and probably will start against Fulham. Then it was only really Botman, Barnes and Willock. Now, the news on Botman seems to be quite good. But again, the news on Barnes was good until this bombshell dropped. So way back in, I think it was September, where we smashed Sheffield United 8-0. Harvey Barnes went down injured really quickly in that game. As you can see him sitting there looking absolutely devastated. You can't see the front of his face, but I'll tell you, he did look devastated. And he broke a toe, I think it was, or something to do with a toe injury. It turned out to be a real freak injury, really. It kept him on for quite a long period of time. Anthony Gordon came in, looked fantastic. Has never looked back, really. But Anthony Gordon's starting to tire. We need that squad depth. That's the reason we signed Harvey Barnes. He was supposed to be a more consistent version of what Maxi was going to give us. Very different player, but Harvey Barnes gives you goals and gives you assists. We saw it pre-season as well. I mean, in terms of this season, Harvey Barnes has only started 7 games for us. He's got 1 goal and 1 assist already. So you can see that in terms of what he can bring from that left wing position. He was brilliant in pre-season. And even then just building his fitness up really. So a fully fit, sharp Harvey Barnes, who knows what we could have done in the Champions League with a player like that and the Premier League. But he's knackered. We heard he was on the grass. We heard he was coming back soon. But apparently he's had a bit of a setback, according to Eddie in the press conference. Now, initially he didn't need an operation. And that's the reason why they just left his recovery to go normally. But he's feeling the pain again in his foot. So a surgery option is now apparently being discussed. And that would pretty much knacker all of Harvey Barnes' season. And that's fucking devastating, really, for Newcastle United, because the 2 big signings we made in the summer, Sandro Tonali is banned for 10 months because of a gambling addiction. And then Harvey Barnes is injured and could basically be fucked for the whole season. It's just devastating, really, for the club. It really is, in terms of the, those kind of levels of investment that want those signings to work, and it just didn't work. Unfortunately for them, and it's real kind of you can't plan for it out of the blue type thing. The Tonali thing will get me started on that. But Harvey Barnes is devastating news for Newcastle. So we won't see Harvey Barnes this side of Christmas. With any luck, an operation may fix him up right, so he can then come back in the January window. The next player that was updated on injury was this fella, Joe Willock, who very quietly goes extremely unmissed. Joe Willock is a phenomenal footballer for Newcastle United. His ability to get us up the pitch, his ability to break with speed, to get into the box, to create goal-scoring opportunities and score goals himself has been a huge miss to this football club. He can play in midfield, he can play out wide. I would love to have seen a full-fit Joe Willock flying at Champions League defences. He could have given us a real good chance as well as the Premier League. He's a brilliant player. He went off injured with an ankle Achilles tendon injury, I think it was, against Bournemouth. And again, we thought he was going to come back. The news on him was positive, but he's been having loads of injections in this ankle injury, and it's starting to sound really, really bad. I just looked at Joe Willock's stats. I think he's only started again. He only started 6 games all season for us. He's got 1 goal in that period of time. He's actually missed, I just counted up there, he's missed 21 games in the whole of 2023, and that is horrific for the lad, who's never really injured before, in all fairness, but he just can't seem to shake this ankle injury. So this is really bad news for Newcastle United. I don't know what this means for the January transfer window. We know the Saudi loan deals are an option now. personally for me, I think the football club should really look to bring in at least three of those players on loan from Saudi Arabia. If there's not a limit to do that in terms of the amount of players you can loan, I think you probably could get at least 2 or 3 from that league. We could really fatten up some key positions in this squad. The January window in terms of buying players, I can see Calvin Phillips coming in with a loan to buy. He did the old wave goodbye thing at the City game the other day when he scored the pen. I think it's a done deal that he's gone. Whether it's a done deal in Newcastle, I don't know, but it's a done deal that he's gone. Obviously, we've got Louis Miley performing really well in midfield, so that would probably stop us going out and splashing loads of cash on another midfielder. You've got Calvin Phillips that can come in. Maybe you've got a Saudi loan like a Milenkovic-Savic or something like that. But in terms of wide players and attacking players, with Harvey Barnes being knackered and Willock being knackered, maybe we do look to the Saudi Arabian league. You got to remember there's some great players out over there. Even the likes of Mahrez and who knows, even a Maxi return loan, which I don't think will happen. But you just don't know. That we have to look at all the options that we can look at in the Saudi Arabian league and the loan deals and across Europe and in the Premiership as well. But we are definitely going to need at least 3 or 4 players. If any more bodies hit the floor, it's really going to curtail our chance to get into the top 4 this season. It's a tough old job this season as well. With Liverpool's return to form. Arsenal, City up there. There's only one spot up for grabs really between us, Manchester United, Spurs, maybe Chelsea to push as well. But sorry, Villa, I beg your pardon, not bloody Chelsea, they're miles away. Sorry, I beg your pardon, Villa fans. Villa, Spurs, and Manchester United and Newcastle are the ones that are up for that 4th space. Yeah, but it's going to be a tough season for us. We need to get bodies back. January can't come soon enough. We need investments. Devastating news for the 2 lads in their recovery from injury. I hope they don't need operations, and I hope we can see them back in January. What I wouldn't give for a Harvey Barnes and Joe Willock goal in the Tyne and Weird derby. But let us know what you guys think in the comments below about this recent news on the injury front. What do you think about the player investment? Do you think we need to bring in some more players? Should we exploit the Saudi loan option or not? Drop us a comment. We always like to hear from you guys. We always do our best to reply as well. And if you can subscribe, smash that button, come and join us, be part of this great community. If you want to give back as a member, there's an option there to click as well for you. Have a cracking day wherever you are, everybody, and get well soon, Harvey and Joe. We miss you, lads, and we need you back. See you later. Cheers.